So one of the really simple and cheap things I started doing about 12 years ago that really helped transform my life in a positive way was I started carrying notepads with me at all times. Just a simple little pocket-sized notepad of paper. And it's not really for the reason why I think a lot of people might assume you would use notepad paper. So let's talk about that. I'm actually up in my loft today, so you might actually have a bit of echo even after the sound processing. But I wanted to get this bag out to show I practice what I preach, right? So here's some old notebooks, some old notebooks, some old notebooks, more notebooks. In fact, let's see. Check it out. One of the early GameDev logos. And over the years, I've experimented with bigger notebooks. I've experimented with nicer notebooks. And, you know, if I did this, I would carry it in a backpack or whatever. But overwhelmingly, I found what works best for me was just simple little pocket-sized, cheap pads. Sometimes you can buy them by the threes. But so many notepads. I tried getting little metal kinds. And I'll tell you what, whenever I tried getting a little fancy one, just to try it out, I would find I didn't really write in these nearly as much. And it has to do with why and how I use my notepads. Let me dump this back in there. So the reason people assume you carry a notepad is that you're trying to save your ideas for later. You're trying to put down your great ideas while you have them. And to be fair, it is certainly the case that sometimes the best ideas we have don't come to us while we happen to be sitting in front of the keyboard with Visual Studio or Unity open, or if you're a writer, Microsoft Word, or Artist Photoshop, or Maya, or whatever. So yeah, I mean, to a degree, it is useful. If you have an idea and you want to be able to jot it down and capture it, that can be valuable. But most of what I put in my notepads is I use my notepads as kind of a garbage bin. It's for things that are top-level, surface-level thoughts, things I want to dig deeper than. If you think about an earth mover, right, like construction equipment that digs a giant hole, every time we dig a giant hole, all that dirt has to go somewhere. So it goes in a big pile right next to the hole to be trucked off in dump trucks or something, but you got to do something with all that dirt. Well, to me, all these pocket notepads are a bunch of dirt from excavating, whatever it is, to dig deeper to get to better ideas that are buried beneath the layer of the obvious stuff that's at the front of our minds. The things that are on the top of our minds at all times are usually not very developed, they're not very original, they're often a side effect of, frankly, we all saw the same thing on TV, or we all heard the same thing in the news, or we all just played the same hit game, or whatever it was. Whereas as soon as you start kind of peeling those layers away, writing it down, what happens is when you write it down, you free yourself from your mind just repeating it. And it lets you get a layer deeper. And you write that down, so you get a layer deeper. Put it back in your pocket for a few hours, come back to it later, jot down the next thing you're thinking, it lets you get a layer deeper. Because as soon as we've written it down, we release ourselves from feeling the need to memorize it. From keeping the need to like, oh, you know, I have this idea I want to do something with. Usually if it's the first idea off the top of the head, it's not that great. And so it's good to just keep that pile, just jot it down. So, you know, I'm not saving these for like, oh, here's my excellent ideas. This is more so just a reminder to me of most of these ideas I've never done anything with and they're not that useful. They're not that good. But it helps find these things that, you know what, okay, here's something I can really run with. I'm going to pitch this project. I'm going to develop this part of my business. Or I'm going to explore this new avenue for skill development that I would need to complete this project idea I have. Comes from digging layer by layer and always having that with me. Always having that in my pocket. Always having it, you know, in a backpack or wherever I'm going. Just so I'm ready. And of course, with a pen as well. But so I will suggest, as an assignment, if I may be so bold in a YouTube video, go find yourself one of these little, literally probably 78-cent notepads. They sell them in Staples, they sell them in drugstores, they sell them in grocery stores. You can buy them by the 3-pack. I find sometimes this is an older one, and when I use the side ones that had the spiral, this kind of rubbed in my pocket. Yeah, I often have found that this top design sometimes is easier to slide in and out of a pocket without it catching on anything else. But, you know, your mileage may vary. Try what works for you. Pick whatever color you like. It's super cheap. But just try it for a week. Just carry around you know, like again, it costs less than $1. Carry it around for a week with a pen. See when and if you feel an impulse to write something down. And then dig a little bit deeper. Write down the next thing. Come back to a little later. See where that lets your thoughts wander a little further from where you started. And I think you're going to be happy with what you find out of it. So just a little experiment, a little 1-week try. See if you like it. That's just what I want to throw out there for the day. But I found it really valuable and helpful to me in my career path, in my business, in my game development, in my skill development, in my growth, to be carrying notepads at all times. So I wanted to share that today. If you decide to participate in this, mention down in the comments that you're going to do this, that you're saying, you know what, I'm going to try this. You don't have to even say much more than that. More likely to actually do it if you just kind of externalize it a little bit.